Hey guys, Jay here, and in this video today, it is going to be about something that is a little bit different from what I normally do in this channel. So this time I want to make a little report on what are the current best item in PoE. Well, disclaimer, it is the most used item technically, but they are used by a lot of people for a reason, I think. And by the way, this list is going to be one item for each single item slot. And it is not going to include rare item. It is going to be only uniques. The reason why I do only uniques here because normally the unique items are, they have the fixed set of stat, right? So normally it just brings a special mechanic or a special stat that is build defining in some cases, and sometimes it is a core mechanic or it is very good for a certain build or build archetype in other cases, right? Rare items can be like way too broad in terms of what can you have on a rare item. For example, if you want a glove that is going to have like ES glove is going to be different. The life and a resistant and suppression glove is going to be different. The multiple more strike skill target is going to be different. So I would just be talking about uniques specifically in this case. So without further ado, let's just actually get into the items, right? First thing first is going to be in the Amulet slot, and this is the Yoke of Suffering. This is 13% of the total used from PoE Ninja. This thing is extremely powerful. It does give you a ton of extra more damage taken or increased damage taken, which normally act as an additional layer of more multiplier, but it is a very potent item to give you just a lot of damage. It does give you up to 10% increased damage taken per element from enemies. This is normally used by lightning strike people, bow skill people, like elemental hit of the spectrum. So these are the kind of meta build that I have seen so far that utilize this item. There might be others out there, but right now this is an extremely powerful slot item for the Amulet slot, right? It is just a lot of damage. And next one, Mage Blood. This, well, without further ado, this is probably currently the undisputed best item in the game overall. It is extremely strong. It makes your Flask 100% consistent all the time, and it also gives you the opportunity to make them 95% stronger for your magic flask. So extremely strong, extremely versatile. This is used by 26% of all the players that is on PoE Ninja, and this is a massive number, and also massive power boosts in game as well. Also massively expensive, right? So this is an extremely strong item, one of the iconic items in the game at the moment. Right. Next one. This one is a little bit of a surprise. Cloak of Flame for 7% of PoE Ninja. The second place is actually the Iron Fortress. So it is the strength stacking armor. So I'm kind of surprised to see this thing pop up here, even though I think this probably is used mostly by Chieftain, because Chieftain have very easy and very straightforward build path into maximum resistances. So Cloak of Flame naturally synergize really well there. It is a solid defensive option. It is pretty cheap, and it is still very strong in the end game. So yeah, Cloak of Flame on the body armor. Next one, the boot slot is going to be Rashed Impatient. This is 24%, so almost as much as Mage Blood. This particular item, just if you think about it, it is pretty much just like Mage Blood, except it is for charges instead of for Flask, because charges has always been very, very powerful. This league with a buff to endurance charges, it just becomes even more powerful. So this boot, it still gives you some resistances, including chaos, which is very nice. The only drawback is it doesn't have any movement speed, but it gives you maximum charges all the time without any condition. So just an extremely, extremely powerful item overall. It can be used in a lot of builds because the bonuses that the charges give you are very, very good in most cases. The power charge is crit, the frenzy is attack or cast speed, and also more damage. And endurance charges is probably like a mandatory defense layer right now in the game for how strong it really is. So Rashed Impatient, in my opinion, very, very deserving for the boot slot over here. Next one, we are going to have Admirals Arrogant at 3%. Well, the glove slot, technically most of the players are using a red glove, but Admirals Arrogance here is still on top of all the uniques that is available in the list. It is 3% compared to the other ones are like 2%, but this one in particular just reflect the dominance of melee, how much people are playing melee in the meta at the moment. This glove gives you rage sustain, which is a bonus right now, pretty much are exclusive to just melee damage. And I'm glad to see this glove here. It just reflects that melee is in a pretty good spot, at least much better than what it was before. We have been crying for melee buff for a while, and finally this league, GG, did it. It is such a good thing to see. Although in terms of like power level, I would say this one is quite niche compared to the other ones that has been in the list, right? Next thing, Kitavas Thirst, 9%. This helmet is exclusively used probably right now by the Archmage and especially the Ice Nova, Frostbolt, and then Frostbolt combo. So what this build is around is often Archmage. You cast Ice Nova with Archmage support and the mana cost over 100. This will trigger the special effect from the falling Kitavas Thirst helmet, which allow you to cast Frostbolt for free without actually having to cast it. And so it just makes the combo very smooth to play and just result in a massive, massive amount of damage effectiveness, which synergy really well with Archmage. This has been discovered from last league. This league, it becomes like the meta for league start and is still going very strong, have extremely good potential to scale into the end game. This represents one of the meta build from the league start until now. Next item is going to be the Taming. The Taming, well, to be fair, the Taming pretty much just go together with the Yoke of Suffering. They pretty much function in roughly the same way, except the Yoke of Suffering is a little bit more powerful, but the Taming overall is a pretty good ring. It gives you like very good stat, it gives you damage, it gives you resistances. Overall, very, very comfy choice, especially for, Map Blaster, especially for like elemental hit of the spectrum, maybe, melee build, but using like melee skill like lightning strike is going to enjoy this one as well. It's just a ton of damage, and normally people use this one, they are going to use two of it. So I'm not surprised to see this item here. It has been like in the radar, like near the center of the freaking radar from the start of the league until now. So Taming for the one ring slot, and the next ring slot actually is Calandra's Touch. I kind of want to put Taming here as well, but Calandra's Touch actually I think make a lot of sense, because technically it reflects, if the other slot you use Taming, right, you can reflect it and you have two Tamings, or you can just buy two Tamings. However, Calandra's Touch, I want to put it here because Calandra's Touch is probably one of the strongest item for rich people in the game at the moment, because how crazy you can have like rare crafted ring to like the GG state, and then you can reflect it with the mist at the moment, and you can hit across luck and basically get a GG reflection, which is extremely hard to get. So for 5 divine at the moment in the market for a Calandra's touch, it can be as powerful as a multiple mirrors worthy of an item. And this, I think, is well deserved in a ring slot over here. It can be used in many situations. If you have a very good ring, this is just reflecting the good ring that you have, which normally, again, should cost like multiple divines, or even multiple mirrors, right? Next one, the shield, the offhand slot. This is also an item that, well, to be fair, is kind of OP right now, right? Svalin, this special thing about this shield, it is give you a unconditional chance to block is lucky. This is an extremely powerful line that you cannot really get anywhere except for a conditional one from the Gladiator Ascendancy. I'm kind of surprised. It should be the reverse, so the Gladiator should have like unconditional chance to block lucky, in my opinion. And the Svalin, maybe if they nerfed it, they can just do a soft nerf of like, if you block recently, you get lucky, chance to block is lucky, right? So it should be like in reverse of those two. But right now, this Svalin shield is very powerful. It is super easy to get 65% block for both spell and attack damage. Maybe you can get like 68 because you can get from the tree. Maybe you can get 70% because you can have maximum block, maximum chance to block attack, or maximum chance to block spell from the skill tree. And it just results in 90 to 95%, depending on how much maximum block you are having. Effectively, you have 90 to 95% chance to block hit. And it is super easy to get max block right now, cap block, without using glancing blow. So like 90%, 9 out of 10 hits, you do not take any damage. Extremely powerful item. Probably gonna get nerfed this league. I have played with this one, and I would highly recommend anyone out there who some way somehow did not try to play with this shield, did not try to build a character with this shield, just to try it out, to feel the power of it. It is not like if you equip the shield, if you get max block, you are immortal. But it does perform really well as a layer of defense for hit damage. So you have less thing to worry about in terms of survivability, right? Last but not least, the weapon slot. It is going to be Ephemeral's Edge. 6% of players in POE Ninjas using this item. This pretty much just result from one single build or one single archetype of build, so there might be like different variation of it, but Ephemeral Edge was not a very rare item. But this league, due to some like very clever mind who thought of the build, trickster, ES stacking, the Ephemeral Edge, the special thing about it is it's giving you lightning damage, flat lightning damage based on your maximum energy shield. So basically it is another item that enable you stack defense and still get offense stat out of it. And it is extremely powerful. It is an extremely tanky build. It is a trickster. Yeah, if you don't know what it is right now, try to find out about it. It is extremely powerful. I cannot stress enough. But Ephemeral Edge, I think, also a part of the meta right now, very well deserved. Very powerful item. Has not been, utilized very much until this league, but right now it is on top of the ladder. Well, one additional slot. So we have a Flask here. let's just say we are using a Mage Blood, right? So 4 of our flasks is going to be utility flask, and we don't need to worry about it. So the final slot, sorry, the final slot is going to be Progenesis, which is, no, not, yeah, this flask over here. Progenesis, a super tanky flask. When you have it on effect, you basically become like 25% tankier in terms of like taking a max hit without any additional flash effect. So this item is and has been always a extremely powerful defensive flask, extremely powerful again, and it is well deserved to be on top of the list for flask. So yeah, because of the Mage Blood, we will only be mentioning one single flask, which is Progenesis over here, which is also currently, I think, the most expensive flask in the game at the moment, undoubtedly. So yeah, that is everything I want to share with you guys in this video today. Let me know, what do you think about the current meta? What do you think about which items are you using, which items you cannot wait to try to use for the first time because you see it on the list here, or maybe you noticed any different, any kind of interesting item that you think are under the radar. Let me know in the comment section, let everybody know, so you know, maybe we can have some additional cooking later. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoy this, and if you do, please consider to like and subscribe to the channel. It does help me greatly. And see you in the next video. Peace. Oh, by the way, after I finish this video, I probably am going to stream on Twitch. So if you see this one, come join me. Peace.